Makes me sad to think about these innocent pit bulls being put down, but I like to imagine that when they get to the gates of heaven, there's 72 toddlers. Just waiting to be mauled. Could you imagine being a pit bull and seeing a toddler for the first time? They've been bred to attack something, but they don't know what it looks like. And then a gorgeous little tot covered in gravy wanders along and bangs them on the head with a tambourine. They're only human, these dogs, that's all I'm saying. I blame the breeders for creating such delicious children.
But no, of course, the best thing about having a baby is you get to watch your parents become grandparents, which is very exciting and also ridiculous, because every parent that becomes a grandparent behaves like someone that has just been rehired at a company they have not worked at in 35 years. And they've decided they need 0 additional training. Hey, we do other things a little bit different around here. You want to be brought up to speed? Nah, I know what I'm doing. Get that kid face down. Put a blanket in his mouth. He looks cold. What? Where are you going? I'm going to get my whalebone skin brush. Now, where do you keep your teething rum? All right. You need to watch a PowerPoint before you can take care of this kid.
Food is the way to bring us together, guys. We're in very, very divided times, but food, I feel like, is the answer. You know, think about the first wave of immigrants. The Italians, they copped a lot of racial hate, but, you know, they bought pizza, pasta, people sort of accepted them, yeah. Chinese people, sweet and sour pork, Indian people, buttered chicken. Like, all I'm trying to say is stop hating and just wait and see what food transgender people make, because...
A Jehovah's Witness accusing a gay man of going around trying to change people's minds. I mean, we never go knocking on doors, do we? Imagine if we did, though. Is the man of the house in? Never knock on my front door again! I can try around the back door. I just want to feel like I felt watching Top Gun 2 all of the time. The ever-young Tom Cruise kicking the fuck out of some Russians. Yes, please. I know everyone's worried. I'm going to mention the Russian thing. Everyone's very worried about that. And bad Putin. I've got a different take on that. I just think it's nice to have the Russians back. Like, we've missed them since they've been gone. They went away in the 90s. We've been scrambling around for a proper enemy since. You need to wake up in the morning, have your shreddies, and know who the cunts are. And the Russians are providing that perfectly. Okay, who are the bastards today? Oh, it's the Russians. Yeah, perfect. Also, bonus points, they're white. You don't even have to worry about that. You'd be like, I fucking hate Russia and I hate Russians. No one's telling you off at a dinner party for that. Lovely stuff. I do appreciate there are a lot of people in the room sitting there going, no, it's neither Russians that are my enemy. It's the fucking English. And I know, we know how you feel about us. No one in England's ever hated anyone enough to vote for Alex Salmon and Nicola Sturgeon, but you guys are really leaning into that shit. Wrong crowd for that, but that absolutely kills down south.
My first experience with therapy was not good. It was this lady, and she was very spiritual. And I think spirituality is great if you are spiritual. I'm not. I'm very logical. She was very namaste. And I was like, I don't want to stay. She would do this thing where I would be like, I'm feeling angry about this. And she'd be like, what colour is your anger? And I'd be like, I don't think that way. And she would press me on it. She'd be like, you have to participate. And I'd be like, okay, red. And she'd be like, you're making so much progress. I was like, no, I had just recently watched the movie Inside Out. I was just imagining those little guys running around.
Like when I was 13, I got suspended from school because my school found out that I was cutting myself. And they got mad at me. Everybody got mad at me. They got mad. They sent me home. They didn't know what to do, so they sent me home. And I was like, okay. I'll go home to where all the knives are. You should have thought that through. Tools of my trade.
So if anybody besides mommy and daddy come up to you and you don't know them in a mall, you just yell, pedophile, right away. It's awkward. I should have included Nana and Granda in the circle.
So the labour happened very quickly. So I knew that I was in labour, but no one believed me. And I think one of the reasons is that my waters didn't break, and so the baby came out in the amniotic sac, like in the cowl, but we didn't know that at the time. So she just looked like an alien splodge. And so the midwife said to my husband, oh, do you want to go and have a look at the head? As he went to go and have a look, and I went, oh, what does she look like? And he went, don't worry about it, we'll see. I was like, what do you mean, we'll see? And he was like, let's just get it out and then we'll deal with it.
I don't... Like, I do a lot of charity work, and... There's so many animals on the endangered list, and we really... Guys... Seriously, there's so... Did you know this? There's so many on the endangered list. We're all gonna have to do our part on this one, guys. If we all, like, killed 3 or 4 of them, we could get them off that list so fast.
I have a little thing to entertain myself before I get on a long-haul flight. When I walk into the plane and you see people, those skinny people watching, no. I just go in there, I'm just in the middle there. And I go, I'm fucking with you, I'm up in business. Bye!
You know, I don't know if you've ever had your wife in a mental health facility. Because my friends were very sweet, you know. They were like, Jess, that's so supportive. This can't be easy for you. That's so nice you found her this place in Malibu. And I was like, yeah. And all of that was true. But there was also another unspoken part, at least that I felt, that was like, what did you do to her? You know, like, we're like, oh, where is your wife? Oh, she's in a mental health facility. Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah. Look, she was normal before. You know what I mean? Like, how annoying was I to work with? How crazy did I drive this woman that she had to leave society and brush a horse's tail on ketamine? And I just
Right, a lot of people are getting offended very easily these days, and then everyone's just worried about saying the wrong thing. And I know that you are, because you do the same thing that I do. If you're driving along in your car and you've got passengers in your car and you answer a phone call and it goes on speakerphone, the first thing you say is, just letting you know that you're on speaker and there's other people in the car. You may as well say, don't talk about the shit we usually talk about. There's other people here. They won't get our humour, they'll judge us.
10 years ago, I was like, oh, I want to wear something that makes me look like an idiot. So everyone's like, what an idiot, right? So I picked the gilet. It's a clown costume. But if I'm going to do this show properly and tell you the truth, then I need to do it without the gilet, without my body armour. So if it's okay with you, I'm going to take the gilet off. Is that okay? Sort of annoyed that that's technically the best joke I've ever written. It doesn't have any words in it, and officially my mum did half. And it means I now have to do a show in a vest. None of us wanted that. Partly because, like, before you're like, oh, this guy's like a nerd, right? But now you can all see that I've got tattoos. So you're like, oh, God, this guy could beat us up. And I will. That's the end of the show.
You're like me and sit this close to the front of the You looked at her like, do you get this all the time? Do you fuck? Do you fuck? You turn around, you show everyone how on the brow of the hill you look like me. Turn around, Dylan, turn around right now. Dylan, stand up at this part of the special. Turn around, look at this. Here's what I want to do, right? Do you know what would be really funny? Now, if I do what I'm about to do, and then we put this picture up, nobody go, that was so funny, I was there that night when you switched with that guy. Just put this up, and we'll just not say anything about it. Dylan, stand at the microphone. Stand at the microphone, Dylan, and wait, and just do this. Just do this.
But my mum and dad, they're old. They're old, and they've got themselves a password book, but they're very clever with it. See if you can work this one out. And they keep their passwords tucked away in their address book. Under P. Yeah, for passwords. Good luck, burglars. Unless Alan Turing's in your gang, you're not cracking this code. The Smith family home is a fortress.
But we were at this petting park, and we went to see the peacock, and it was doing the peacock thing. You know. Giving it all that. And my girlfriend at the time was like, isn't it amazing what animals will do to attract each other? I was like, your eyebrows are drawn on. And your cheekbones are an optical illusion. Like, I don't know if you're better than that peacock, necessarily.
Ever seen a gladiator die before? No? Well, you can see this in films like Troy or 300 or, you know, even Gladiator. Anytime someone gets killed by a sword, they'll fall to their knees in slow motion. For some reason, this will happen. It'll be like this, I go... It's depressing. I find it very depressing.
You know those deep life chats when you sit down with someone, usually the night before they become your best friend or your life partner, that night where you drink all the alcohol and talk about everything that's ever happened to you. These chats are amazing. The only thing that's annoying about these conversations is you'll be talking about your childhood and then they start talking about their childhood. And it's like, no. We are not done discussing my childhood yet. Wait your turn.
Because I'll try way too hard on dates that I'll do stupid voices to try and make them laugh. And I'll be like, hey, we're back to my house with Kermit the Frog, it'll be really hot. Oh yeah, oh, and Miss Piggy, you'll be there as well. Oh, Miss Piggy will be there. She gets right up, which is hard. Do you know the Muffin Man? On a date though, a guy told me he was a massive Lord of the Rings fan, right? And when he told me that, I was like, I'll save Gollum for dessert. And when he said, Larry, I've got to go and get my taxi, instead of going, oh, before you go and get your taxi, if you love Lord of the Rings, you'll probably love Gollum, like Smeagol. And instead of doing that, though, because that would have been quite cringy, I panicked he was leaving, so I grabbed his hand and led him to his taxi as Gollum. So the last thing he can remember of me, because he blocked me straight after this happened, was me going, come with me, master. Stupid fat chubby, need to go and get a taxi over now. We don't want master to leave us. Precious master, don't abandon your Smeagol. And halfway through doing it, I looked up at him and I thought, no, he's not finding this funny. I thought it's going to be weirder if I stop halfway through it. Like, too much of a change. Master, please don't leave. No. Nice meeting you, man. Let's do this again sometime. I mean. No, sorry, no worries at all. You go pee. Master, please don't leave. No, Master, please. Stupid fat hobbit. Go to the bathroom in order to use the ring. Double meaning on the word ring.
That was a low light. But thinking about being remembered, I wanted to think about my highlights as well, you know, my best memories. I thought about the best gigs I've ever done. I actually opened for Norah Jones. I know. I did comedy before a Norah Jones concert. Yeah. No one asked me to. Just thought that's what the people wanted. Come away with me. Couple of Norah fans. And the gig went surprisingly well. That's why I really enjoyed it, because I didn't expect it to go well, and it went well. And the guy who booked me for the gig, he held onto my number. And a couple days after Christmas, I get a phone call from him. So I'm like, oh my God, it's going to be another massive gig. Answer the phone. He goes, hey, Melanie, do you know who Eric Andre is? Yeah, a few murmurs. If you don't know, Eric Andre is a massive comedian in the States. I'm a huge... Don't know why I'm still on the phone. Now I feel like I can't put it down. You'll think I've hung up. So I could just hold there for a sec. Now we're back to the shaka. He's a massive comedian in the States. I'm a huge fan, so I'm trying to contain my excitement, thinking, you know, he's going to get me to open for him. Sorry about that. You're there. He goes, he's in New Zealand at the moment. I'm like, I know. I follow him in real life. And he goes, he's in New Zealand at the moment, and he's trying to find someone who can get him some mushrooms. What a spectacular fall from grace for me, because I was on that phone call thinking I was the best comedian for the job, and I got quickly humbled down to Mushroom Girl. I feel like I could hear the crack in my voice. Not that crack, otherwise I would have been a great person to call, but just that disappointment, because it also made me think, like, how does this guy remember me? Because he's put me in two wildly different categories. He's put me perfectly in between Norah Jones and psychedelic drug dealers. Like, on one hand, I'm that guy you went to uni with who lives in a backpackers for some reason. But on the other hand, I'm the perfect person to entertain women in their 60s while they listen to some early 2000s jazzy pop. Like, anyway, I hooked him up. A gig's a gig. No, I'm quite afraid of drugs. I'm quite terrified of them, you know. I'm afraid of a regular mushroom. A portobello freaks me out. Too fleshy. To give you an idea of how afraid of drugs I am, recently I had 2 antihistamines. And I looked at the packet, it said, take 1 a day. I was like, oh my God, I've OD'd. Is this how Amy Winehouse went out? I'm watching Euphoria like, I relate. Had to take a couple of prohistamines. Like, people over here liked the Euphoria reference. People at the back were like, tell fast. It was like, oh, Jenny Craig. Keep up. No, it's a disaster. The thing about doing this as a job, though, is that you don't really know what you're going to be remembered for. You don't know exactly what's going to catch on. And this happened to me. I'd been doing comedy for like 4 or 5 years, and then the lockdown came around, and I decided to spend my time locked in my house in New Zealand, dressing up as the New Zealand Prime Minister. Jacinda Ardern. There's a few people going, "You're not her?" No refunds, but that was an odd thing that caught on here more than it did in New Zealand. Like, you guys loved it for some reason. I was at home and I was getting phone calls from Australian radio stations, like fucking Fitzo and Blippy or whatever. Whatever the fuck you guys call them, like. In New Zealand, it's like John and Karen. And it's like beep, bloop, and bop, boop. Anyway, I get phone calls from these Australian radio stations going, "We love your Jacinda impersonation. Can you come on our radio show and do your impression?" And I'm like, that's weird. Because in those videos that I made, I used makeup to make my face look like Jacinda, but I made no effort to change my voice whatsoever. I just have a New Zealand accent. They were like, "It's perfect." I was like, "A gig's a gig." Do you guys need some shrooms? The Jacinda thing was weird because I was no longer recognised as Melanie Bracewell. I would just sort of, go about my life and people would spot me and go, "Jacinda." I think I got her some votes, It would often happen at the club. I just heard one go, "Ooh." Yeah, it was an ooh of like, "You don't go to the club." I dabble. I treat the boards. Pop a couple of antihistamines. Sick. So I would often get recognised by very, very drunk women, but they'd only recognise Jacinda. They'd come up to me and be like, "Hey, Jacinda." I'm like, you seem like you're in a state to talk policy. And then, I know in that moment they don't actually think I'm Jacinda, but they're so wasted that I like to think that maybe the next morning, in their hazy recollection of the night before, that they wake up, pulling M&Ms from their McFlurry out of their bra, just going, "Yeah, I think I met Jacinda last night. She was doing slut drops. Retirement looks good on her. I think she gave me MDMA. Didn't really feel anything, just cleared up my sinuses." That's quite rare for that to happen, for someone to actually come up and say that they recognise me in person, because I think Australians and New Zealanders were quite shy. What will happen is I'll just go about my day and then I'll get home and open up my Instagram message requests and there'll be a message from a stranger that says something like, "Just saw you. Spotted." It's quite scary, but sometimes it's really specific as well. I got one from this guy recently that said, "Just saw you on Smith Street, looking so sweaty after your workout." Horrifying. But made worse by the fact that at that time, I was on my way to my workout. I'm just a sweaty person.
Well, like I said, I'm not from this beautiful part of the world. I'm from the north. I'm from a little town called Scarborough. And, yeah, thank you. Yeah, one person. Been to Barbados? What did you do there?
Drink.
Not alcohol, we just don't have teeth up there. A Hugh Gal, that's nice to hear. That's nice. Well, it's nice, Scarborough. It's, how would I describe Scarborough? It's a little seaside town in the north of England. And when I grew up in Scarborough, I was always desperate to leave it. And I wanted to move on to bigger and better things. And then as soon as I left, I realised what an incredible town it is. And I was proud of it. And I always wanted to do Scarborough proud. I always thought if I ever make it in this crazy little business we call comedy. Again, not funny. If I ever make it in this town, when people think Scarborough, they'll think funny, they'll think Paddy Young. Is that arrogant? Who's to say? Scarborough, funny, Paddy Young, wow. Scarborough, funny, Paddy Young. Sounds right. Sounds like the way things were going for me until New Year's Eve last year. Every New Year's Eve, the whole town gathers down by the shore. Bands play, there's fireworks. But last year, just as the fireworks were about to go off, does anyone remember what happened? A walrus, yeah. Sorry, did I imagine that man? I wake up and I'm in my bedroom showing off. And I've got a special. Of course you do, Pad. And there's a walrus and it's a good part of the story. Thanks for chipping in, Pink Elephant at the back. It was the first time a walrus had ever been seen on the Yorkshire coast. It was incredible. So we all got a bit closer to the walrus, then the walrus got a bit closer to us, then we got a little bit closer, and then the walrus started masturbating. Did you know that walruses masturbated? I didn't, no. No. Little bit defensive, if you ask me. No. Shutting all the tabs in his pocket, oh my fucking God. Shut down the subreddit, boys, he's got us. Well, I didn't know that they masturbated either. I didn't know they masturbated, but they're not normally in Scarborough either, so I don't know if this guy's just a bit of a Jack the Lad, turns up, wanks where he wants, goes home. Incredible. They cancelled the fireworks, he brought his own, my God. The line from the council was, they stopped the fireworks because they didn't want to cause the walrus any more stress. Now, I'm not an expert on walruses or stress. He looked fairly relaxed to me, He looked like he was about to have the nap of his life. The whole town enjoyed it. It was great. The elderly, the kids, we all learned something. It's a great evening. But in the wake of it, this walrus has become a bit of a viral sensation. People have enjoyed the video across the world. If you Google Scarborough funny, it's not Paddy Young. It's that fat, juicy cock. Lolloping about on our shore. It's so unfair. Like, look, I was a teenage boy in Scarborough. Like, do you realise how many wanks I must have had up there? Millions, probably. Never even made it in the Yorkshire Press. He's on the front page of the Guardian. I was keeping that water salty way before he crawled out of there. Well, the walrus, he can keep the north. I'm a southerner now. I'm one of you lot. Yeah. And I defend this beautiful town from those thickies up north. Don't like them. They're stupid. They're worse than us. All my northern friends are the same, man. They come down to London for the weekend. And they have the time of their life, a weekend of inexplicable joy. And at the end of it, they go, ooh, bit pricey. Yeah, did you have a good... Oh, no, it was incredible. But we spent £400 in 3 days, and all we did is go Wagamama's. Well, then we also had a boat trip down the Thames, and we saw a life-changing piece of theatre, and saw the Eye, and Spotify Premium, and Dairy Queen. Yeah, that isn't London, that's doing things. It's like when I go home to Scarborough and I'm like, oh, isn't it cheap? Isn't it cheap up north, I say, as I get into bed at 4 p.m. Real head scratcher, that one, boy. No. One of my friends doesn't even visit me in London anymore. He says it's too loud. Too loud? What are you, a dog on bonfire night? Opportunities. No, all Northerners would rather stay up there and brag about their cuisine. We all know the official dish of the North. Hi, that's nice. Classist from the insurance bloke. I heard you lot can't deal with corners. Simple shapes now. Not far though. Of course, the official dish of the North is tap water. You want to make friends with a Yorkshireman? You ask him about his water. He will write you a poem. Water. Sounds simple, don't it? In the south, you get it wrong. Down here, the people are soft and the water's hard. In the north, the people are tough and wizened and ignorant and a bit racist, but the water, H2 bloody, oh! Enjoy it hot or cold or room temperature, which in Yorkshire is cold. It's about tradition. Every village in Yorkshire, every Sunday, they fill village bath with Yorkshire water and kids race Yorkshire puddings from one end to the other. Yorkshire water, it's soft, it's smooth, it's bubbly, it's got a slightly orange tint to it, it's hoppy, served in pints, gets you pissed. That's Carling, you cretin! I've never seen a northern man drink water. They're drinking beer, they're pissed. That's why you get off the train in a northern town and it's full of old people. They're not old, they're dehydrated. 32 years old, but they're fucking hunched over. You know when people are so old, it looks like a football's about to land on them. They're like... You dash water, then they turn into kids again. Get out of here! People love to moan about London water. Someone said to me recently, oh yeah, London water's horrible, man. It's got more cocaine in it than anywhere else in Europe. That's good. That's trickle-down economics.
Some people really took the pandemic to self-improve, leveled up when they came out, bettered themselves in some ways. No one here? Okay, everyone went dead silent. But people did get into shape. People got abs. I didn't even have close to abs before. I didn't know, like, what was the workout? That's what right? Because, like, everything was closed. Were people just, like, tearing down statues and dragging them to the river? Like, what was... The argument that people make against taking down statues, like the racist ones, obviously, not like the Statue of Liberty. Although that would be a workout. She's thick. They say it erases history. It erases history, which is crazy to me, As a Jew doing comedy, what are the odds? Extremely high. I've never needed a statue of a Nazi to remember the Holocaust. Like, no Jews ever needed a statue of a Nazi. The Nazi. There's many of them. No one's needed a statue of a Nazi to remember the Holocaust. Like, what we do is we just bring it up in every single conversation. Oh, hello, Sheila. How are you? How are the children? Never again. Like, it's, I was saying never forget in that joke, and one night someone heckled me and was like, that's 9/11. I know. I was like, I'm so sorry, sir. I didn't mean to have the Holocaust appropriate 9/11. All right? It's like but I changed it. I listen to feedback. I do. Yeah. I'm not Dave Chappelle. No. funnier than Dave Chappelle. Not at comedy, but you know, as a person, perhaps. And that's holding me back in comedy. At the end of 2020, my gynecologist called me, and I should tell you, I'd gone to see her a few days before. It wasn't like she was going down the list, like, who's got insurance? I'm going to wish her and her labia a happy new year. You know? And she's like, do you have a few minutes? And I'm like, I don't have any minutes. Like, it's not good when they call you, right? Like, on a holiday? No, it's not, it wasn't good. She told me I had cervical cancer. But I want you guys to know I don't have it anymore. It's fine. I'm cancer-free. It's all good. So don't worry. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. I gave it to Rush Limbaugh. But the cancer does come back if you don't laugh at these jokes. That's science, the CDC said. I was very lucky. They caught it really early, and all I had to do was get a hysterectomy. That was the whole thing. And I went in for the surgery. It was like feeling pretty confident about it. It was a beautiful morning in New York. It was sunny. The 2 Democratic senators for Georgia had just been confirmed, so the Senate had just gone Democrat. And it was the morning of January 6th, 2021. Very good alibi, all right? So I go in for the surgery and I wake up around 6 p.m. and I can hear the nurses whispering about an insurrection. And I was like, put me back under immediately. Like, no, thank you. No, thank you. How wild is it to realize that my uterus was the only thing holding this country together? Girl boss, am I right? Yes. I know you guys are like, tell us more about the hysterectomy. Okay, all right, fine. So the way it works is they pulled my uterus out through my vagina. I know, yeah, that's how I know. I didn't even tear, not a stitch. Did a lot of Kegels beforehand. No. I asked the surgeon afterwards what my uterus was like. I was like, was it big? I don't know, what was it, you know? And he said, actually, your uterus was quite petite. What? Petite? Are you kidding me? Petite? Oh my! I couldn't believe it. No one has ever called any part of me petite, ever. A doctor? Are you kidding me? I was so excited. My mother was thrilled. Oh. She was like, Jessica, we could have taken your uterus shopping to Forever 21. You know? So I don't have the uterus anymore, but I still have my ovaries. So what that means, is there any men here? Oh, there's you guys. Okay. I don't know. Sometimes they're like, especially the men are like, we want to know more about this. Okay. What this means is that I get my period, but I don't get my period. You know, like I don't bleed. I don't even need a panty liner. No, I don't even spot. Nothing. I know. Yeah. Also a little drier since it happened. They didn't warn me. All of the symptoms every month still. All of the symptoms, none of the evidence. That's what I'm living with. The bloated, the hungry, the horny, you know. So sensitive too. I'm a mega account under a Rachel Maddow tweet. Like, so nuts. And so much poo on your period as well. So much poo. Don't be quiet on me here. You know what I'm talking about. Nobody talks about this. I know. Are there people on straight dates? Sometimes where there's more straight people, the women are like, don't tell them we poo. Like, I barely admit to peeing once a week. What are you doing? Lesbian is selling us out. You know, so much poo on your period. I'm speaking truth to power up here. I don't care. Listen. It's like hangover poo after the greasy diner, but without the fun night out the night before. What is that? Being a woman is a nightmare. Honestly, it's beautiful, but we should not pay taxes at all. Sorry. I don't call myself a cancer survivor, Nobody's asking me to. But also, I don't really need it for comedy, you know? I'm already in a Jewish, Palestinian, lesbian, Canadian, lesbian marriage. You know, like, I don't need cancer survive. I also don't really feel like it's my word. You know, I don't know if anyone's gatekeeping cancer survival. I don't know if I made a big deal of being a cancer survivor comedian if, like, a woman would pop up covered in pink ribbons and Livestrong bracelets up to here, just like, no chemo, no radiation, keep it moving, dull is all, you know? Like, I don't really think it's my word. I feel like it would be a lot like, and I don't mean to gatekeep, but I will, and this is a dangerous thing to say here in parks in Brooklyn, but I feel like it would be a lot like a woman who's exclusively dated men, but one time kissed a woman once and is very loud about being queer. You know, very, very loud about it. Like, if you haven't gone down on a woman for even 1 minute, like, have you earned it? Like, have you... I'm not saying oral sex is like chemo, okay? But... I got the cervical cancer from HPV. Anyone else? HPV? Okay. Yeah. I had it a long time, early adopter. I might be patient 0. I don't know anyone older with it. Maybe you guys were like, how old are you, Jess? All right, okay, all right, okay, this is where I'm at. Okay, when the HPV vaccine came out, it was too late for me. I already had it. Okay, all right. No one else born pre-peanut allergy, post-Cold War? No one in that bracket? I went to the gynecologist years ago in Montreal. I'm from the French part of Canada. That's why I'm hot. Thank you. Yeah. And he told me I had an irregular pap smear. That's what the Jews call it. It's stupid. And I was like, well, do I have HPV? He's like, everyone has HPV. I was like, fine, but do I have HPV? He's like, everyone in Montreal has HPV. I was like, fine, but do I have HPV? We went back and forth like this for 10 years. I never got an answer. It was free, but it's not a perfect system either. I hate to... There's a cost. Okay, it's quality. Okay, anyway, so I moved here. I went to this expensive lady gynecologist, and she confirmed that I had HPV. Like, okay. And she did this very invasive exam, which, like, after the exam, if I was, like, dating men or married to a man, she would have just said, don't have sex for a week. But she knows that I'm married to a woman, and I guess she panicked, because what she said was nothing in the vagina. Don't put anything in the vagina for a week. I don't know what you people do. Just don't put anything in the vagina for a week. I was like, what about my autographed picture of Kate McKinnon? That's where I keep it, lady. I was doing the math on this whole situation, and I realized that sex I had with one, several dozen, doesn't matter. Nobody's counting, nobody's judging. A few men, okay, whatever. 15 or 20 years ago, sex I had with men, okay, whatever. Who cares, Park Slope, okay? Doesn't matter, nobody's counting. 15 or 20 years ago, could have killed me today. Isn't that... I've been in a lesbian marriage a long time. Is that crazy? Listen, sex I had with one, several, doesn't... Who cares? Nobody's counting. Nobody's judging men. 15 or 20 years ago, could have killed me today. Are you guys getting what I'm saying? Are you guys buying what I'm saying? Are you picking up what I'm putting down, sir? Are you? Okay, some of you are getting... Okay, I'm just going to make it very clear. Okay, this is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is don't have sex with men. It kills. Okay, you guys get jokes. One man did not. He chased me outside of a comedy club in Manhattan onto the street, and he was very upset. He was on his period, and He was like, you're getting up there with a microphone and you're telling women do comedy? Wait, you're getting up there and you're telling people don't have sex with men. You're telling don't men sex. You're saying don't fuck men. You're saying don't penis and vagina men. What are you getting up? You're getting up there night after night. You're telling people don't intercourse. I was like, okay, sir, I am so sorry. Like, I did not realize you had sex with men. And, so he didn't talk to me after that. It was good.
Who here has heard of Twitter? Okay, 3 people over there and that lady. Okay. So the rest of you, I sympathise. I myself had not heard of Twitter until 2004. I was sat in a bar in Cambodia talking to the worst man I'd ever met. And I don't know what you know about, well, you probably know, but I don't know what the rest of you know about the rules of drinking with strangers in bars in far-flung parts of the world. But part of the deal is you have to listen to their tale of woe. And he had quite the tale of woe, as that afternoon he had been banned from the local brothel. Now, again, I don't know what everyone other than you knows about brothels in Southeast Asia, but you got to go some to get banned from one. And I said, how did you get banned from the local brothel? And Alistair, for my sins, he told me. He said, I like debauchery. And I particularly enjoy paying close attention to the Twitter. And I said, what's the Twitter? And he said, it's the smooth bit between a lady's arsehole and her vagina. And I made a terrible error. And I said, why? Why is it called the Twitter? And he said, because it's halfway between the twat and the shitter. Now, I didn't hear of Twitter again for a few more years. Until a website was launched aimed at gentlemen such as this, and it became quite the big deal. And if you wanted to have a career in politics, media, like anything really, they were like, you got to get big on Twitter. And I was like, I don't want to, mate. He just like, you got to get big on Twitter. And I was like, why? And he was like, you've got everybody's on it. I looked into it, 11% of the country, and it was like, yeah, but the important 11% who live in Islington, the tastemakers. So I looked into it. It mainly seemed to be a website aimed at pussies fighting. Now, as I said, I remember a time when people would fight properly in the street. But it's not like the old days. You don't have to go looking for a fight. There's a leaderboard of the top 10 most pointless fights happening on any particular day. So I logged on one morning to see what could be seen, and on the leaderboard, the number 1 most pointless fight happening in the world was about a celebrity called Jameela Jamil, who I've never heard of before, but she'd apparently just got a job presenting a television programme, which seemed reasonable to me, as she is a television presenter. But half of the internet were very happy about that for no reason, and half of the internet were very cross about that for no reason, and they were just fucking going at it in the town square. And I was like, how the fuck does someone try and sell tickets in the middle of this? My agent was like, I don't know, but people do. Fucking try. So I was looking at it going, how am I going to get in there? And as I was looking, something amazing happened. A noted feminist journalist rode into Twitter's town square on her steed, clicking her spurs, and she went, I'm going to sort this problem out. And she pulled out her gun, and she did a tweet. And the tweet said this: to those of you criticising Jameela Jamil, I will say this. She is a woman of colour living in a racist society, and as such should not be criticised for anything. I thought, fuck me! That's a point. That's a point. It's a big point. It's a point on a moral, ethical, sociological level I don't think Twitter's demonstrated an ability to deal with yet today. I thought, what the fuck's going to happen now? And then something terrible happened. A man replied. And not just any type of man. The worst type of man. A white man. This gammon-faced, porcine-fingered piece of shit waddled into the town square with his fat sausage fingers going, well, I'm going to ruin everybody's day with an opinion that nobody fucking asked for. And he said this, although well-meaning, I would say that to remove someone from criticism is in fact to infantilise them. To infantilise somebody is to say that they're less than you. To say that somebody is less than you is in of itself racist. Sorry. Who asked you, pig boy? Fuck off! Luckily, the feminist retweeted what the man said milliseconds later, and she said, this is what women on Twitter have to put up with. Being mansplained to by a man. Yes, fucking queen, sister! The internet erupted in celebration. Every feminist came out of every digital nook and cranny over the hill and they went, who run the world, girls? Who run the world, girls? Stay down, mic drop, fuck you piece of shit. And I was like, I get it. I get it now. I see why people like this. It's amazing. A vanquished foe. We were all there high-fiving. All the digital champagne corks were flying. It was fucking amazing. We were having such a time. And then at the height of our celebration, the man came back. And he said, you are wrong. For I'm not a man. I am a gay man. What up? Then we're off to the fucking races. Everybody knows gay man beats cis-het straight woman at rock, paper, Twitter. Instantly, the men's rights activists came up over the hill going, get your tits out for the lads. Get your tits out for the lads. The feminists returned a volley of fire. Gavin, patriarchy. They came back with tits so funny, patriarchy. In the middle of this, the original feminist was going, oh, I'm sorry. I'll listen, I'll learn, I'll read. I didn't realise I was being rude to a gay man. I thought I was being rude to another human being. Mea culpa, please do not destroy my life and career. I'm so sorry. But she was fucked. She was out of it because she was playing identity politics, which is basically poker. And everyone knows you never bet till you've seen the flop. She was fucking out of it. They were going out, the feminists, the men's rights activists, kicking the shit out of each other. It was kicking off. In the middle of this, some cunt tried to go all in on the fact he was half French. Like, Brexit was ages ago. The fuck out of it. Don't bring a baguette to a knife fight, you fanny. And there they're going, misery upon misery, pylon upon pylon, and I am sat on the toilet looking at this unfold. And I went, how did this happen? How did this happen? I just wanted to be a clown. I wanted to fuck around and have a laugh, have a good time, tell some jokes. How did my ability to do that professionally become tied to my ability to talk to these fucking animals on this hell tablet? How did this happen? And then I realised we were warned. We were all warned about what would happen. I have had this thing for 12 years. And every day since I took it out of its cursed box and turned it on, I have been angry, I have been anxious, I have been afraid. I used to know right from wrong, up from down. I used to be able to read a map. Now I just follow blue ticks and lines around and I realised we were warned. We were all warned about what would happen by the people who came before us. They told us and we didn't listen. And why didn't we listen? Because we know best. We always know best. We are the technological marvel generation. Nobody who came before us can teach us anything about ourselves. They knew nothing, but they knew us better than we know ourselves, and we were warned. Adam and Eve. The story of creation. It is one of the oldest stories on the planet. It is in the Bible, it is in the Quran. It features in Greek mythology. And it says quite clearly, the If you eat of the fruit of the tree of knowledge, you will be cursed and God will throw you out of Eden. And this shit show hellscape that we have been living in for the last 12 years is because we are walking around with the tree of all knowledge in our pockets, the whole sum total of all knowledge in our pockets. And we are cursed and we have been thrown out of Eden. And then I realised, like every cigarette packet I have ignored since I was 12 years of age, there's a warning on the box. There is a fucking apple with a bite taken out of it.
I have bad energy. I know that about myself. I have bad energy. Multiple times people have been like to me, oh, I thought you hated me when we met. I did, I still do. Got transparent bad energy. You know, I'm toxic. I'm toxic. But I'm not masculine. I'm just regular. I'm just regular toxic. My toxicity has no masculinity. I'm not masculine. Like this guy came up to me at a barbecue. He didn't even introduce himself. You know, no handshake, no. He just said to me, he said, you look like you take baths. No, just you bathe. I wanted to be so mad, like, no, I shower. Take hot showers. This is new skin. My showers are so hot, I just shed in there. Oh, I wanted to be mad like that, but then I remembered, like, I love a bath. Like, ooh, god damn. A candle, my laptop on the toilet, like a little TV stand, like some Epsom salt. Like, I'll shrivel up. I'll watch a whole show. I'll watch all of The Crown. I love a drama. I love the Queen. But he was like an older comic, so he was like trying to make a joke, like insinuate that I'm soft, you know. That's what he's doing. He's like, you got a weak spirit. That's what I took from that. You're soft. And I'm like, yeah, I'm soft. I'm soft. Because after I get out of the tub, I got a good skincare regimen. I got moisturizers and oils. They trap the moisture. And I only tell you that to say that I have good skin. That's how you know I'm a good person. You know? I got good skin. I'm toxic, but I'm a good person. Because I have good skin. Good people have good skin. Good people have great skin. Somebody with great skin, you're like, you do charity work or something. Evil people, awful skin. That's who a 3-in-1 shampoo, conditioner, body wash is for. It's just for like an evil guy so he can like shower quick and then get back to harassing people. You know, that's how I know the insurrection smelled like Old Spice. Yeah, Old Spice, the scent of rebellion. But yeah, I'm a good person. I'm still not happy. I want to be happy. Maybe I just need money. Not $1 billion, but some. How much money would you like? A little more than what I have? Like, I want money. They say the baseline for happiness is you got to make like $85,000 a year, and then after that, it doesn't matter. But the baseline, 85, anything after it doesn't matter. That's what you need for peak happiness. And I just feel like I would be a lot happier if I didn't know that. Why do I have to know that? Is that before or after tax? Because either way, it seems unachievable. Because I want money, like I want to be a Republican so bad. But I'm fiscally liberal right now. I care about stuff because of my fiscal situation. Fiscally, I care. But I want to be a Republican. Like the evil kind, not the kind where you're like, oh, just ignore them. I want to be the evil kind. I want to like wake up in the morning, drink stem cells. You know, I'm pro-life, but I got a wine cellar of stem cells. I want to be a hypocrite. I want hypocrite money. I want to say that I'm all lives matter, but really I just mean me. That's the kind of Republican I want to be. But I'm fiscally liberal. But I always am like fighting off being Republican, you know, like it's just an inner battle I have to deal with every day. Which side am I on? There's only two. Like I do think that everybody deserves to make like a decent living wage. Yeah, but I do think that people making $15 an hour now are getting really cocky. They need to be humbled. Because I paid with a $10 bill at a Popeyes and the cashier, he held it up to the light. He unfurled it into the light. I was like, why would you do this in front of everybody? Like, we're bracket buddies. We're bracket buddies. We're in the same bracket. Like, you're gonna turn your back on your bracket buddy? Like, you think I'm fleecing the Popeyes with fake 10s? The change is 89 cents. Like, what kind of long game do you think I'm playing to embarrass me like that? Now I'm gonna make so much money, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna buy this franchise and fire you in a dramatic fashion. Teach you never turn your back on your bracket buddy again. But I do still think people, decent living wage, deserve that. Because it's liberal. But I'm okay with women making less. No, just because they haven't been working as long. You gotta put your time in. You don't have the seniority, honey. And I'm sure some suffragettes were like, whoa, chill a minute. Like, can we just do part-time? I still want to stay at home, vacuum, and take Valium. Nothing chills me out like a hum of a Hoover. When I'm off the Valium. I've never had money though. Like, I've never had a refrigerator that didn't sound like it wasn't struggling to breathe. You know, every fridge I've ever had just has a knife wound in it. And everything sweats immediately. Most of my life I could tell if something tasted like fridge. I'm like, oh, this got a hint of KitchenAid on it. You know, best before you put it in. My friend was like, well, what are you doing to save? What are you doing to save? Are you investing? No. No, I'm not doing that. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting because I heard somebody say once that they came into some money. So that's kind of what I'm hoping is the case for me. But it's okay. I'm just not important. It's fine. I'm not important. Like, I'm not important enough to walk up an escalator. You know, like, I stay to the right. Like, I don't have to be anywhere on time. I see people like run up an escalator. I'm like, oh, that's a role model. That's a role model. He's late for a hangout on Google right now. He's having Google Hangouts. I never hung out on Google. I don't hang out there. I just Zoom. But money's always going to be a problem under capitalism. You know what I mean? Got too much. Yeah, I got too much information. I know about capitalism. Somebody knew stuff at me once, and I was like, oh, God, I'll regurgitate that. You know, I live in the biggest capitalist of them all. I live in America. I hate America. I hate it. I hate America because I don't drink milk. You know, like the only people that like love America, they like love dairy. They love dairy. You'd be like, can I get oat milk? They're like, oh, you're a domestic terrorist. We don't agree with your dairy alternative choices. Because I was at a diner, I saw an old guy drinking like a tall glass of milk. And I was like, oh, that's a patriot. That's what a patriot looks like. They love milk. They can't connect with their daughter. They got sleep apnea. That's what America is to me. I support the troops, though. Yeah, I support it. I support the troops. I just don't support the surprise welcome home videos. The welcome home videos, I don't like that. Bother me. Like you're going all over there, being all extra over there. Being all extra to come home and go viral with a video. Why don't you just learn editing skills, man? Going over there, bombing hospitals. So you can come back and make a video. Seems disingenuous to me. Like, wow, son, you're so big now. Last time I saw you, I hadn't even bombed a hospital yet. So good to see you, dude. You grew up quick. I bombed like 3 hospitals. The ones that bother me the most are the ones with the dogs. Where they're like, oh, look how happy my dog is to see me after all this time. Can you believe how happy my dog is? It's like, are you sure? Are you sure about that? Because I've met some dogs, and they were new to me. And let me tell you, they were pretty excited. You think this dog thinks that I went to war? That's stupid. That's a stupid, you got a dumb dog. I will never step foot on a battlefield for a flag. You got a dumb dog. You better hope I don't get drafted, too. I'm gonna give away my platoon's position with a vape pen. I'm gonna get sniped in the head because I'm addicted to vape. They're gonna be on the news like, oh, so what was the downfall for your modern warfare? Well, we were addicted to juuling. And the little lights gave us away. It was the little lights that did us. We tried to flank, but the lights. It was a massacre. And I'm from Canada. Like, I don't even know if we have an army. I know we have a navy, but what's that besides making soup on a boat? Which might be the most dangerous one, you know, depending on how rocky them waves are and how hot that soup is. Yeah, I was in the Navy. You can tell by these 3rd-degree burns. The clam chowder almost got me. The pea soup took my brother in arms. I do like being Canadian in America. That's cool. It's just like being in a really easy escape room. If you don't know what an escape room is, that's when you have so much privilege, you pay somebody to take it away. Like, oh, actually, I have loads of privilege. I don't have to do this. I hate this team building exercise. But whenever somebody in America finds out you're from Canada, which is you tell them. No, you guessing that. Everybody always says the same thing. They always say the same thing to you. They're always like, oh, so you're free healthcare. Oh, your healthcare is free. You're free healthcare. They just say it, free healthcare. It's like, yeah, I guess that's not really what I was doing up there. I wasn't pushing that through Parliament. Like, me and the Prime Minister weren't in cahoots on that one, bud, but it's free, it's cheap, I don't know. It's a better system. So it's not funny. You know, you have to explain that it's not funny. Like, healthcare is funny in America. Because everybody's like, oh, it's bad. And then they're like, yeah, it's bad. And then that's the end of the conversation. That's what I think is funny, blatantly ignoring a flaw. Like, healthcare in America is so bad. That's where the Make-A-Wish Foundation was founded. That's funny. That's funny. They're like, good news, bad news. So, your son is gonna die, but we could get him a FaceTime with Anne Hathaway. Yeah, we got Anne Hathaway on the line. She's gonna sing some Les Mis for Jaden. Hopefully that eases the pain of his stage 4 mesothelioma. Yeah, Jaden's got the mesothelioma bad. It's stage 4. Only the musings of Anne Hathaway can help him now. Our bad. We didn't really consider many things, so we don't have a system in place. I don't know about you guys, though, but I feel like cancer should chill out. Should chill. You know? Take it easy. Especially with the big words. Just be cancer. We don't have a cure for you yet. Why you gotta flex on us with these big words? Just be yourself, big guy. Take it easy. You're killing us out there. Pancreatic sarcoma? Chill out. Take it easy. Give me my grandparents back. Give them back. No, I lost my grandparents young. Everybody else lost their grandparents last year. Oh, you didn't know about mortality?